Yo, Yuki here. The rebelling rose, the messenger of facts, the one chained to oblivion, the one born to be berserk, returning yet again with another excellent video. You know, the number one question I'm always asked, ever since I made so many different Toku videos on this channel, is what is my top 10? You know, what is your favorite Toku shows, man? Oh, what do you consider to be the best of the best? You know, and I brought it upon myself to say, you know what? It's time. It's time to show y'all what I got. You know, time to bring out the big guns. And yeah, and with this list, these are my standards, right? So don't expect some bullshit to be on here because I'll guarantee you it ain't gonna be on this list, right? And with my standards, I'm always looking for shows that push the medium, you know, that's always striving for more, or at the very least entertaining. Um, right, and that's the whole thing, you know. Tokusatsu should be creative. It should be inspiring, right? I mean, the whole point, at least in my eyes, at least for my standards, is doing the most with a limited budget. That's what always appealed to me whenever I watch a Toku show. I'm like, wow, man, they were able to tell a compelling story, have great action, great characters, great development with the limited resources they have and still come up with these cool suit designs and monster designs and effects and what have you. And I'm like, that's cool, you know. I'm up for that, right? That's what it's all about, at least for me. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. First up on the list, we have Kamen Rider Amazons. Whew, this is how you do edgy, man. That's what I can say about this show. I mean, if you looking for a Kamen Rider show that is edgy but not trying to be corny at the same time, where it's able to balance the edginess and you can take it seriously, and the effects look like it's still low budget, but it still looks up to par. Amazon's got you covered, man. You know, I can't believe that it's been 10 years since this show came out, and man, it still holds up. I still rewatch this show all the time, right? Just incredible, man. I mean, just seeing Jin's story throughout this, right? I mean, it's just something else, and as well as Haruka, right? Man, the feud between these two is just legendary. You know, it's just absolutely legendary. And yeah, great stuff here. Great stuff. Great effect work. Great characters. Story checks out. I mean, I don't know what else more you can ask for, right? And being a reboot of the original Kamen Rider Amazon, uh, is something else. You know, this is what I'm looking for in a reboot. This is how you do it. This is a perfect example of taking an old show and doing something so unique with it, right? But anyways, moving on. Next up on the list, we have Kamen Rider Fives. Another great Kamen Rider entry. Now, this is a main. I mean, Amazon's is. I mean, I consider it to be a main title series. But if you're looking for a series that is main title within the bigger franchise and not some spin-off or reboot or what have you, then Fives has got you covered. Um, I was tempted to put Kuga on this list, but I feel like everyone puts Kuga, and I love Kuga. You know, I'm not saying I don't like Kuga. I have figures of Kuga. I have manga, you know, all that good stuff. Um, but I feel like Fies definitely deserves a little bit more recognition because, in my eyes, as much as I love Kuga, as great as that drama is, Fies knew the assignment as well. You know, it looked at the mistakes that Agito had, the mistakes that Ryuki had, and was like, oh, hell no, we ain't doing that bullshit. We're going to actually take ourselves a little bit more seriously. We're not going to try to be some fake Kuga. We're not going to try to bullshit. And yeah, you know, it's incredible, right? Great stuff indeed. What I love about Fies is it pretty much did everything Kuga did, but on a higher scale, man. I mean, my goodness, man, they were not playing around in this series, you know, and a lot of the character development that the main cast goes through on both sides, you know, on both the main hero cast and villain cast. I mean, it's just something else, you know. I mean, wow, man, I don't think we've had another writer show have characters this well written. I mean, in no way turned up, in no way is a loose cannon, you know. That man does whatever the fuck he wants. Uh, He's not a slave to Toei like a lot of these other writers. Takahashi. Um, but man, when he put his mind to Fies, he just put it all in there. Not to mention the effects still hold up for a show that came out in 2003. A lot of the suit designs look stellar. I mean, overall, it's just a great show. I don't know what else to say. Just pure greatness. But anyways, with that being said, moving on. Next up on the list, we have Sentika. Man, this is the pure raw definition of low budget and doing the most with it, man. I mean, this is an independent series. This is not a big corporation like Subaraya or Toei or anything like that. This is just one man's vision with a team of other folks that follow that vision and they're going through with it, right? Um, and I gotta say, Santika really did put out, for an independent series to do so much, to have effects that was on par with other shows that was airing at the same time. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, holy fuck. This shit is more interesting than King Oger. It's better than Geats. Far more interesting than Gavu and Boom Bonger. I'm like, man, I mean, they just delivered both season 1 and 2. Both delivered, man. And yeah, it's just great to see that. And having, connections with people that worked on Garo, because of course we know Masahiro has been on Garo. He knows the staff members there pretty well. It gives this show a big advantage. It gives it, you know, an advantage in terms of the effects. And yeah, I mean, just a great, great show overall. If you like Kamen Rider Decade, if you like Shogeki Go Raigun, then kind of imagine those two kind of mesh together and with a sprinkle or a hint of Garo in there. And that's what Santika is basically. Much better than those shows, but that's exactly what it is. Anyways, moving on. Next up on the list, speaking of Garo, we have Garo and the Wailing Dragon. Whoo, boy. Man, this movie right here is probably the best Garo movie that we've had. I mean, there's a couple other good Garo movies, of course, but this is probably the all-time best one. I mean, so many memorable scenes from this movie, man. I mean, watching this is almost like watching a Tim Burton movie as a TOKU film. That's what it feels like watching this. Just incredible effect works. The backgrounds in here, man. Oh my goodness, backgrounds are beautiful. And it's a great conclusion. It's a great ending story arc for Koga's character. It's a good way to end off his journey in the original Garo in Makai Senki. And yeah, I mean, this is a great movie to end all that. Quite interesting. Next up on this list, we have Meatball Machine. Ah, man, this is probably one of my all-time favorites because if you know me, I love horror. And horror and Toku, ooh, beautiful combination, boy. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is what it looks like when we put our minds into something and just say, hey, we're going to go all the way. We're not going to bullshit you. We're not going to let you down. We're going to do horror. We're going to have these special effects. And we're just going to tear up the place, Meatball Machine, 2005. Not that garbage Kodoku sequel. 2005, just to clarify. It's a great horror film, man. If you like Tetsuo the Iron Man, you'll probably like this. In fact, I prefer this movie over that because it's not as pretentious or what have you. And it's a better movie in general. But yeah, it's just an awesome gore fest, man. Just incredible. And the two characters' conflict in this, oh man, that stuff was sad. That stuff was sad as hell. So if you've seen this movie, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, if you haven't, I would recommend watching this right away. If you're someone that's like, oh man, I'm not like that big on Toku or what have you, and I just don't mesh with the superhero stuff. I'm like, Toku doesn't gotta be superhero all the time. It's all about the special effects, baby. That's what it's about. So if you're looking for something different, then Meatball Machine's got you covered, 100%. Anyways, moving on. Next up on the list, we have Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. Now, Sentai series in general piss me the hell off because they've been doing the same bullshit for far too long, man. The formula is so tiring, it's insane. It's insane. And I feel like Shinkenger is one of the only Sentai series I can think of, other than Live Man, um, that broke the formula, that tried to do a little bit more uh, than what we get with typical Sentai shows, you know? Because Sentai shows really just kill me, man. But Shinkenger managed to say, hey, we're going to do a cool theme. We're going to do samurais, and we're going to actually focus on characters. You know, this is going to be a character driven story. Um, and we're just going to do the most with it. And of course, we have other TOKU veteran actors in here. So greatness all around. Now, Senkenger still has its issues, just like any other Sentai series, but in my eyes, it's still the best Sentai series of all time. There's none other that even come close. Maybe with the exception of Live Man, but even with that, I'm like, that's debatable. But Senkenger does work. It does work all the way. Next up on the list, we have Shin Kamen Rider. So we're getting into the movies now. Um, Out of the Shin movies, Shin Kamen Rider definitely stands out on its own. Um, and yeah, I mean, this again, just like what I said with Kamen Rider Amazons, this is a beautiful way to do a reboot, a beautiful way to do a remake, and just expand. You know, just do more with it. And what works with this, the story is so tightly connected to the original manga, the original source material, that it works in the movie, right? And all the additional modern elements that Ano puts in here, other little references to other Ishinomori's work he puts in here, it works, right? It works all the way because he's so tightly close to that original material. And you can tell the passion this man has, for Kamen Rider. And this is what we need. You know, if we can't get fresh new blood coming up with these new series, at least get some veterans, some professionals that have been fans that know how to treat these properties with care. And it really shows with Shin Kamen Rider. It really shows. Next up on the list, we have Shin Godzilla, another film that just pays great tribute, great homage to the original Godzilla, and not only that, but surpasses it. This is still in my books the all-time greatest Godzilla film. Now, a lot of people will say, "Oh, what about -1, man? But -1 is peak, man. But what about this Godzilla movie and that one? What about Final Wars and all this other stuff?" And I'm like, that's cool and all. Final Wars is okay. You know, it's enjoyable, but it's not anything that great. I do think that movie's a little overrated in my eyes. Not to say that it's not entertaining. And -1, on the other hand, I mean, Ridley stole everything from Shin Godzilla. You know, and half the time, most of the effects are done in CG. So I'm like, can we even call that a TOKU movie at the end of the day, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, it stole pretty much most of its story in drama beats from Shin Godzilla. I'm like, why watch -1 when I can watch the original? You know, so with Shin Godzilla, man, the pacing in this is brutal. I mean, there is just constant conflict going on. You know, this movie does not skip a beat, right? You got to be paying close attention because those subtitles be moving at the speed of light with this movie. And yeah, it is one of the most emotional, groundbreaking Godzilla movies we've had. And after being out for what 10 years now, it still holds up. Still holds up. But anyways, next up on the list we have Ultra 7X. Now, just like with Super Sentai, I'm not a big Ultraman fan. You know, I've tried many, many times to get into Ultraman and Ultra Q, and I was close with Ultraman Nexus. I was about to say, okay, Nexus is actually putting in some work. We actually can be taken seriously with Nexus. But sadly, Nexus fell off like I've never seen before. After that first story arc was concluded, I was like, man, I don't know how they're going to top that. And when I saw arc 2, I was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, of course it can't be top because we got bullshit. It's not even the same show anymore. And I know the reason why. But still, you know, I can't be one of those people that just recommend a show or claim something is the best of the best when only half of the show is good. I'm like, I'm not one of these half a show watchers, you know. I don't do that. The whole product has to be intact, you know. I'm not saying it has to be flawless, but I mean, come on, at least 80% of it got to be good. Let's keep it real. And Ultra 7X did accomplish that. And the main reason being is it just stuck to its Ultra Q roots. And what I liked about this is it didn't feel too much like a Twilight Zone ripoff, which thank goodness, man. Because a lot of the older Ultra Q stuff just feels like, okay, I'm watching Japanese Twilight Zone. I'd just rather pop in an episode of that than watch this bullshit. Um, but with this show, it kind of understands how to implement those things without going over the edge, right? You have this whole mystery going on with this character with amnesia. You have these um, episodic stories that are so memorable, man. I mean, wow. And more veteran Toku actors in here. So it's all a plus for me. The Ultraman stuff is just here and there, and that's what works. You know, this is not an Ultraman show that's so flashy and focused on the fights and that bad choreography. No, we're gonna treat ourselves like an actual sci-fi drama. And that's what makes this show work. And that's what made it work for me at least. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, these are hitting my high standards. This is what I'm looking for. You know, it's not always about the action and the fights. You know, to many other people, that's what it's all about. But for me, I'm looking for something a little bit deeper than that. But anyways, moving on. Last but not least on the list, we have Garo Makai Senki. Man, great follow up to the original season. Um, I wanted to put the original Garo season on here, but again, I thought about the last half of Garo, and I'm like, I can't do that with a straight mind, you know, because that last half of Garo was some bullshit, man. I'm like, oh my god, boy, the villain in that was awful. And then Zero's backstory, oh, that was garbage, man. I'm like, I'd rather not know anything about him than revealing that awful backstory. But Makai Senki made up for all that. You know, we refocused ourselves. We didn't have that trash, uh, overarching plot going on. And yeah, Makai Senki was really engaging, and it just kept up with the good visuals, the good action, the good characters. And yeah, it just stayed strong all the way. And there you have it. That's my complete list. Man, oh man, these are easily some of the best Toku of all time. And yeah, I mean, just absolute greatness all around. If you haven't gotten to these shows, I hope you get to them because they're worth your time. They're worth watching. They're worth checking out. And yeah, with that being said, Yuki here, the Rebelling Rose. And until next time, I'll see you.